It was my life, lying in bed in the sunlight, choking on the vitamin tablets, doctor gave in the hope of saving me, in the hope of saving me.
It's interesting to say,
Knots in the corner
best before the races to save some energy. First in the Czech Republic, as we mentioned, and another man to keep an eye on from Team Coop. We haven't really mentioned Team Coop. They started off so well, and Serena Bona has struggled a little bit, so that's not helped. But this is fascinating. They're lining up, aren't they? And it's just who has the energy left.
Interesting also to see bib 148 there. We haven't spoke about him. It's Klas Nilsson, a Swede from Team 7 Mile, 7 mila in Swedish. He's a young guy that has done a couple of years in the cross-country marathon races. He was, I think, 24th or something in Ladiagonela, and looks like he's strong here now with only 13 Ks to go. Klas Nilsson, bib 148.
Well, we're heading ever downhill to Castello Marina. And then all the way down to 50th place, where you get a solitary point. But if you or I skied in the last 100 metres and go from first to fifth, it makes a big difference. Really big difference. And remember, at the top, Øystein Pedersen from Northern Ada Pedersen.
The Vasaloppet in combination with any other race, because of course that is the most famous stop, and the numbers of amateur participants, I mean, it's quite ridiculous, the numbers in a good way, how many people turn out for that one at the beginning of March. Of course, it's the 7th race of 9 on this expanded SkiClassics calendar this year. It's the early stages here of this men's race. Klas Nilsson, the current leader from Team 7 Mila.
He's from Skellefteå in the north of Sweden, young guy. And he did a pretty good race back home in Sweden in Åre, in the Åre Svix Open in the days just after Christmas. He was not so far behind of Skellefteå, who won that race. So yeah, looks like he's going for the double poling today. It could be like this, that guys with kick wax still do double poling here. So in the little steeper hills we will see which one that choose without or with kick wax. But Klas is going pretty fast there in the beginning.
Set a quick pace. He's leading things at the moment early on, Nilsson. Away from Christopher Callison, the winner of the Youth Bib, 2014 edition, in second spot at the moment. Callison.
Bill Impula in the pink has done a good start of the season, of course. He was 9th in Jysärskä and 9th in Las Gambeda, so yeah, it's a good start from him.
Very solid top 10 finishes for Impula, who is talked about Callison winning the Youth Bib last year. Impula is the current holder of the bib at the moment, that pink bib for men, which is a good competition actually at the moment. Good young skiers. Seen how important that's been over the years actually. This competition's grown. You've seen now Pedersen in second making a challenge for the yellow bib, because of course he's won the pink youth bib twice before, in 2012 and in 2013 as well, getting that 15-minute head start over the men who we've rejoined here now. Klas Nilsson still enjoying himself at the head of things.
He does. He's representing 7 mila, or 7 mila as we say in Sweden. It's actually a competition up in the north of Sweden, from the region where the famous skier Per Elofsson is from. So that's a 7-mile, Swedish mile long ski race. They have a couple of skiers going for the Swix SkiClassics.
And overnight, you get fresh snow, and then you've got new issues to deal with. Again, hats off to the organisers for getting this course set up, because it really has been tricky to build up. And you think the work, similar people as well in terms of the team, the work they had to do to get the Jysärskä set up as well, and they managed to get that race going, and this one is underway, and promising openings here being made, but again, you can't really read too much into these early stages.
And if they then can have a good speed for the third lap that we only do half of, they can stay away, but I think it will go together all the way down to the point where they turn right and go the 3K up here to the finish.
Really?
So I think it will stay together. You see, Jörgen Aukland here double poling behind the snowmobile. The snowmobile will follow them all the way. The tracks made by the groomers, they will be filled with new snow. So
we were out there this morning. We were out on part of the course, weren't we, Jesper? And it was funny. They'd just been out there, not long before, and then we were walking through thinking, and some of the skiers out there with us were thinking, okay, we want to do some preparations. Where are the tracks? That was no criticism. It's just the fact that so much fresh snow was falling onto the course.
Yeah, Daniel Tunnell told us, "Is this where the competition is?" That was before the groomer passed that point. It's actually where the sprint is. You will see it later on. So
it's got a good sense of humour. Most of the time, you don't get that. You get the top skiers hanging with each other for most of the race. Jörgen Aukland here, still living where the Aukland brothers have been so dominant over the years. Still, in terms of the rankings, the top two, based on the last work system through the whole of Switzerland.
We have a little eye on the ladies leader group, and they are still together. They are now in the first tough hill past the start area going down the well.
Yeah, we'll look to be back with them shortly, but it's great you made that point, yes. But we've got access to live GPS tracking. Keep you posted, of course. We want to get across, but the's now two races. I talked to a couple of people and said, "Oh, you were there," and they were trying to find out more about the Swiss SkiClassics from me. And one of the things was I said, "Yeah, well, no, this guy, young Christian Dahl, he's not been too well, and the build-up." And they said, "These are professional athletes. Surely they don't fall." You've mentioned already 4 or 5 guys there who were ill and everything. And I said, no, but you're pushing yourself to maximum intensity. You're doing a lot of travelling, very, very cold weather as well. How much you wrap up, it's difficult. There are a lot of factors here that even if they're eating tremendously well and training and are in great shape, you're still very susceptible to viruses through the course of the season.
Yes, you are. And right after crossing finish line and the hours after the race, the viruses are really aggressive and they easy get sick. So if you have the possibility to just come into the finish and then directly go for dry clothes and food and stuff, that's better.
Changes to the course, so get a race underway. This 43-kilometre classic technique. See Aukland leading the way. At the moment, still Klas Nilsson there. He wants to, I think, take the lead again in some of the work. Just to illustrate your point here, Jesper, you're talking just the course here, a graphic to illustrate what you're saying.
Okay, to take some kind of drink.
Well, it ties in with what you were saying earlier about just keeping nutrition, the drinking side of thing on it. Obviously extends into the race. I was actually going to ask you about it. You jumped in ahead of me there. I mean that's where again I suppose the person
together in the ladies. It's Britta Johansson Nordgren, it's Raina Bonner, it's Katarina Smutna, and it's also last week's second Kishida.
Yeah. It's familiar names in that pack with Laila Kvelli, you can see from our GPS tracking. A fair bit back now actually, falling away, but on her own at the moment in what is 5th position right now in the women's race. We'll be back.